Hello, welcome to this support video for the third in the series on lists. We're looking at how we can manipulate data structures with C#. So you've got some test data here. We have a procedure. Remember, a procedure is like a function in that it has a name. It's like a function in that it can have parameters. But the only difference between a procedure and a function is a procedure doesn't return a value. So the return type here is void. It's nothing. It doesn't and it mustn't return anything. So instead of returning a value, we're passed a reference to this list here. So that if we make any changes to list by adding something in, then that affects the original data. It's like passing in a link to, a pointer to, a reference to that object. Okay, so we want to add lots of items into the list until our list has this many values. So let's say whilst the list dot count is less than number of values, and we can always assume that it either has that number of values or it has fewer than that number of values. We want to add something in. What should we add? Well, slight complication here. We're not allowed to have the same value twice. So this test, for example, if we have red, blue and green in our list and we say we want to have 4 values in our list and we try and add green in, well, that's going to fail the test. Let's see, shall we? If we try and put the value green in every time, I think this is going to fail some tests. All right, we're setting up a test that with a list that contains 2 values. We want it to have 2 values, so it passes the test. Great. This time, we've got 9 values, and we want it to have 13 values, and it crashes because the value green occurs more than once. Oh dear. So we can't just add the same value each time. What I guess we could do is, let's say value to add, and let's just start off with something like that. Let's have lots of 1s. And then we can add that value. Oops. Value to add. And then we should probably make sure that it's not already in there. So if list dot contains value to add. So that's if it does contain it. We want to add it if it doesn't contain it. So we can put an exclamation mark in front, which negates or gets the opposite of that. It's like a not gate. So while it doesn't contain the value we want to add, we can add it. And then I suppose we can say value to add. We'll add on an extra symbol. So I'm just going to put some full stops in there instead. We start with 1 full stop. We'll add 1 full stop in each time. But I guess we want to add a full stop each time, even if we don't add it to the list, so that it keeps trying a new value if it fails. Let's have a look. Great. Okay. So the important thing here is that you know how to add something to a dynamic data structure like a list. Remember, a list is similar to an array, as in it stores all the values of the same data type in a particular order, but a list is dynamic, whereas an array is static, which means an array only has a set size, which can't change whilst your program runs, but a list you can add to and remove from whilst the program runs.